great friend here. Jacob Abel, will be helping me out with color. Today we're bringing you the Snow College Lady Badgers against the Western Wyoming Mustangs.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting game. You know, yesterday we watched the Badgers play the Snow College alumni team, winning by a comfortable margin of over 20 points. And so obviously that team was a team comprised of players who haven't played together. So looking for a little bit more of a competition today against the Western Wyoming team.
You know, and there's been a change in the starting lineup for the Lady Badgers. Today we're going to see Lexi Peterson and Bethany Dow starting in their 4 and 5 spots respectively. But I think we have to talk about Beth Dow's amazing game yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, scoring 17 points off the bench, part of the reason why Coach Mike Russell has decided to put her in instead of Micah Gustafson. And so hopefully that'll equivalent to, is that even a word? I don't know. Am I making up words here? But hopefully she'll be able to do that at the starting spot as well.
100% from field goal range, 100% from the free throw line, and I guess 100% from the 3-point line because she didn't shoot any 3-pointers. But you know, just an amazing game for her. But I think the reason that the Badgers really won that game, of course they scored more points, but they rebounded. The All-Stars, they had 21 rebounds versus the Badgers 45 rebounds, which is going to be a big factor coming into today's game.
Yeah, that's right. And we spoke with Coach Mike Swenson from Western Wyoming, and he talked about how they're focusing on the post play, and they need rebounds offensively and defensively in the paint in order to, you know, score and to control the game. But, you know, when you have players like Bethany Dow down low and Micah Gustafson,
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how Western Wyoming matches up.
It's going to be a very interesting game, and Mike Russell, head coach of the Lady Badgers, said that their focus is going to be really playing a full, complete game, both sides of the basketball through all 4 quarters. They've had amazing offense, but they want to get in that groove of playing the full game right before they break for Christmas.
Absolutely.
So we're 30 seconds away from the national anthem and starting lineup, so stay tuned right here on Snow Badger TV, and we'll be bringing you the start of the game very soon. Welcome to the Horn Activity Center. Joe Williams, Jacob Habel with you, bringing you the Snow College Lady Badgers versus the Western Wyoming Community College Mustangs. And we are going to have the starting lineups coming up here soon, starting with Western Wyoming. So the starters for the Mustangs. At guard, the freshman, 5'7", number 4, Brittany Henry. 5'4" guard, freshman, number 5, Tori Ross. 5'9" guard, sophomore, number 21, Jalen Lawson. 6'1" forward, sophomore, number 23, Brittany Hatch. And their starting center, freshman, 6 feet tall, Laditra Hobson. They are coached by Mike Swenson. Now, head coach Mike Russell's Lady Badger basketball team here. Starting lineup, starting at guard, the sophomore from Burley, Idaho, number 4, Sydney Pilling. Number 4, Sydney Pilling. Starting guard, the freshman from Soda Springs, Idaho, number 12, Reagan Yamauchi. Number 20, the guard sophomore from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Lexi Peterson. The forward freshman from Preston, Idaho, number 25, Bethany Dow. And the forward sophomore from Carlsbad, California, number 31, Rachel Roberts. Snow College Lady Basketball, head coach Mike Russell. An amazing team here, right, Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, a little biased, right? But
a little.
No, definitely exciting for this matchup. And like we talked about pregame, you know, definitely expecting another big game from Bethany Dow down low. And it'll be exciting to see what Lexi Peterson has to offer as well, getting the starting nod.
Right. Thank you so much for tuning in to Snow TV. Snow TV, the student-run, student-led TV station here at Snow College. Jacob and I are both communications students here at a junior college, and we are lucky enough to be able to bring you this game from Ephraim, Utah. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you enjoy this broadcast. The Mustangs win the tip-off, and it is brought down by Brittany Henry. Mustangs working it around here. Brittany Henry with the ball here. Passes that to the corner. A download to Laditra Hobson up top. That is Jalen Lawson with the ball. Gives that to Hobson down low, and it is picked off by Beth Dow. Dow hands that to Sydney Pilling, and Pilling will bring it down. Reagan Yamauchi with the ball on the wing. Beth Dow with the screen. A beautiful pick and roll. Textbook there. Beth Dow with the and one opportunity here.
Hey, if you asked us how we thought this game was going to start, we probably would have said a pass down low to Bethany Dow with a nice layup, right? And draws the foul, chance at the three-point play. It's exactly what the Badgers are looking to do here in the first quarter.
So Beth Dow at the line here for one shot. And she sinks it. 3 points early. The officials trying to figure out how to run the clock here, and they've got it. So the Mustangs bringing it down here. Tori Ross with the ball. Brittany Hatch with it, gives that to the corner. Jalen Lawson gives that up top to Brittany Henry. Passing it around here. Baseline drive. Gives that to Laditra Hobson. Hobson up top to Jalen Lawson. Giving that over to the other wing. Down low. And it is knocked away by Beth Dow. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. And the Mustangs will have it at the baseline. Inbounding is Jalen Lawson. She gives that to Laditra Hobson, and another steal for Beth Dow. Beth Dow already with an amazing game. That shot missed there by Lexi Peterson. And the almost rebound there by Rachel Roberts. The Mustangs passing it around here, working it around. Gives out to Brittany Henry. Henry looking down low. Gives that over to Tori Ross. Ross looking, drive, gives that to Laditra Hobson. Hobson covered by Dow. Jalen Lawson going up, and she has the 2. Jalen Lawson's first points of the game.
Yeah, great shot from Lawson there. She was well covered by Yamauchi, but able to get enough separation to put the shot off and get the basket.
Badgers working it around here. Bethany Dow with it. Gives that over to Reagan Yamauchi. Yamauchi for 3, and she has it. Jalen Lawson working it around, gives that to the corner. And that is good for Laditra Hobson. Hobson's on the board for her first 2 points. Sydney Pilling bringing it down here. Pilling gives that to Beth Dow. Set to check in for the Badgers is Reagan Anderson. Beth Dow with it, and no good. That's the first shot we've ever seen Beth Dow miss.
It was a nice thread the needle pass from Yamauchi, and unfortunately Dow was unable to capitalize, but good looks here early from the Badgers.
The double team defense there really focusing on shutting down Beth Dow after the amazing game she had yesterday. Jalen Lawson with a beautiful hook shot there and gets her second bucket of the game. Lexi Peterson on the wing. Here's the drive. And an attempted pick and roll, but didn't really work out there, and a turnover. In the corner, that is Brittany Hatch. No good. Rebound, Beth Dow. Reagan Yamauchi bringing it down, gives that to Rachel Roberts on the wing. Roberts, baseline drive. And she is fouled by Brittany Hatch.
Quick tempo from both teams here early on in the game. We haven't really seen the offense stop and set up yet, but that's definitely something that I think both head coaches are telling the players, look, we need to jump out to an early lead, excuse me. So quick tempo here. I think once a team starts to get the lead, then we might see them slow down a little bit and set up the offense. But at least for now, both teams are going 100%.
The Badgers really trying to play that full, complete game on both sides of the ball, like head coach Mike Russell was talking to us about earlier. And of course, head coach Mike Swenson we also talked to before, and we've seen his real trying to get into that post offense like they've been talking about. But they've been really struggling. They are without their starting center, Melinda Davidson, 6-foot-tall freshman. So that post offense has got to be really hard against a defender like Beth Dow. So the Mustangs working it around here. Brittany Hatch passes that to Jalen Lawson on the wing, and that is hit away by Reagan Yamauchi. And Sydney McDonald loses it to Ladidra Hobson. Resetting the shot clock. A change of control, and the shot clock was not reset, so the Mustangs are going to have a second here to set up the offense like you were talking about there. Brittany Hatch to inbound, passes that to the corner. Brittany Henry with it. Back to Hatch, to Lawson. Tori Ross with it, gives that to Henry up high. Henry gives that to Lawson on the wing. Here's Brittany Hatch for another 3, and she has it. Excuse me, they only gave her 2 on that shot. Sydney Pilling bringing it here. Gives that to Sydney McDonald on the wing. McDonald with the drive. Gives that to Beth Dow. And Dow, no good. Second chance, no. And Laditra Hobson comes up with the defensive rebound. Gives that to Tori Ross. Head coach Mike Russell is saying, yelling, hurry, 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 get back on D, get back on D. Mustangs working it here. Over to the wing, Tori Ross. No good. Rebound there, Sydney. Laditra Hobson with the hard foul there on Reagan Yamauchi.
And that's a warrior right there, Pilling getting up like nothing even happened, just brushed it off. After seeing that hit, I thought for sure she was going to be down for a couple of minutes, but
yeah, she went hard. She went down hard. So we are going to have a quick timeout here. We are also going to take a quick break until the technical foul shots. Horn Activity Center, Joe Williams and Jacob Habel. So after the hard foul, they did not call a technical on Laditra Hobson. I apologize for saying that earlier. Just a regular foul. And Micah Gustafson down low. Beautiful play there. Micah with her first points of the game. So right now on the floor for the Badgers, we've got Sydney Pilling, Sydney McDonald, Micah Gustafson, Rachel Roberts, and Reagan Anderson. So Sydney Pilling bringing it down now for the Badgers. Some really intense play coming from both teams early in the game. And I think that's going to affect head coach Mike Russell's key to the game that we talked about earlier. Later in the game, it's going to be harder for a team to keep up this intensity if they don't have that conditioning.
Yeah, and at the same time, though, one of the strengths that this Badger team has is the depth on the bench. Right, we've seen strong performances. Reagan Anderson coming off the bench, Micah Gustafson on the bench as well. Two players that are totally capable of putting up big numbers. So
it's going to be interesting to see how an intense team like this is going to play in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. So the Mustangs bringing it down here. Tori Ross with it. Ross over to Hatch in the corner, and Hatch has the three. So Brittany Hatch with 5 points in the game. Badgers working it down, gives out to Reagan Anderson down low. And push in the back there. The foul is called on Brittany Henry, 5'7" freshman for the Mustangs. Reagan Anderson called out of the game, and Reagan Yamauchi checks in. Sydney Pilling to inbound. Gives out to Micah Gustafson up top, over to Rachel Roberts, and Sydney McDonald with it on the wing. Looking to pass, gives out to Sydney Pilling, back to McDonald. McDonald for three, and she has it. Beautiful shot there for Sydney McDonald. Mustangs working it here. And there's the screen. And it is good for Tori Ross. A beautiful paint bucket there for Tori Ross. She is on the board with her first 2 points. Sydney McDonald working it. Brittany Hatch tips it away. Reagan Yamauchi has it. With the drive there, Reagan Yamauchi, no good. Rebounded by Micah Gustafson. Second chance points, and Gustafson has it. She has 4 points in the game. Right now on the floor for the Mustangs, we have Sammy Lewis, Brittany Henry, Kyra Meredith, Brittany Hatch, and Tori Ross. No good from Kyra Meredith. Reagan Yamauchi bringing it down here for the fast break opportunity. She has Rachel Roberts as well. And Reagan Yamauchi is called for the charge. That is Yamauchi's first foul of the game.
It's a good showing there from Micah Gustafson coming off the bench, and obviously, I mentioned it before, but that's going to be huge, is the bench depth, and there's no real true big for the Mustangs coming off the bench. Number 30, Kyra Meredith in right now, but not nearly the same kind of presence that Hobson had earlier, and so Badgers able to capitalize on that
Sydney
mismatch.
Pilling with the fast break opportunity. Here's the drive to Beth Dow. Dow baseline. Gives that out to Sydney McDonald on the wing, over to Pilling on the other wing. Pilling for three, and she has 3 points there, giving the Badgers a 5-point lead.
If you leave the Badger shooters open, they're going to hit their shots.
Yeah, you think of Sydney Pilling, Sydney McDonald, of course. I would argue Rachel Roberts is also pretty good on the wing there. Rachel Roberts with the ball, bringing it down here. Some awesome fast break opportunities, and Rachel Roberts with the 2. She has 4 points. Tori Ross with it, gives that over to Brittany Hatch. Down to the corner, Brittany Henry with it. So we've got 2 Brittany's, 2 Sydney's, and 2 Reagans in this game. So Lexi Peterson subs in for Sydney Pilling. On the floor for the Badgers, we've got Rachel Roberts, Sydney McDonald, Reagan Yamauchi, Lexi Peterson, and Beth Dow. On the floor for the Mustangs right now, Brittany Henry, Sammy Lewis, Brittany Hatch, Kyra Meredith, and Sarai Thomas with her first minutes of the game. Wing shot for Rachel Roberts, no good. Rebounded by Beth Dow, blocked by Brittany Hatch. We saw two Mustang players going up with it there, going for the rebound, and neither of them could get it.
Yeah, and that play right there, McDonald able to tip the ball off the Mustang defender and get possession. They've been aggressive. And it's the first quarter, and you mentioned how long will it last, but I think their stamina is going to allow them, the conditioning that they've worked on throughout the beginning of the season is going to allow them to continue to dominate later in the game.
Agreed. Brittany Henry with the foul there. Off. Brittany Henry, 2 fouls so far in the game. Reagan Yamauchi to shoot. Reagan Yamauchi, freshman guard from Soda Springs, Idaho. 51.6 seconds left in the first quarter, and Yamauchi sinks both her free throws, giving the Badgers a 9-point advantage here, just under a minute to go. Sarai Thomas bringing it down here for the Mustangs. Passes that to Kristen Gourlay. Gourlay with her first minutes of the game here. Down low. Having a hard time seeing what's going on. The referee standing right in front of us here. Lexi Peterson comes up with it, gives it to Rachel Roberts. Roberts bringing it down here. 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Sydney McDonald with it on the wing. She gives it to down low, intended for Beth Dow, but it is picked off there.
Yeah, not really sure what she was looking for in that pass. Dow was double covered, and so that's why the ball was intercepted.
And the exact same thing happens here. Rachel Roberts comes up with it. And Rachel Roberts is called for the offensive foul there. And it is the defense that actually gets the whistle there. Rachel Roberts scores the bucket and will get an extra point opportunity here.
It just goes to show you referees are allowed to make mistakes as well. Right?
Yeah. So Rachel Walsh called for the foul there. Here's Rachel Roberts to shoot, and she misses the extra point, and the Mustangs come up with it with 5 seconds left. And that is no good. At the end of the first quarter, the Badgers are up by 11. We're going to take a short break until the second quarter, so don't go anywhere. You're watching Snow Badger TV. Welcome back to the Horn Activity Center. Joe Williams and Jacob Habel here, bringing you the second quarter of action here. Snow College Lady Badgers taking on the Western Wyoming Community College Mustangs. Western Wyoming Community College located in Laramie, Wyoming. Snow College right here in Ephraim, Utah, and a foul early on. Sydney Pilling draws the foul. And the foul is going on Laditra Hobson. She's got to be careful. She's already got 3 fouls in the game. Sydney Pilling here to shoot. Pilling makes her first shot there. Sydney Pilling, sophomore guard from Burley, Idaho. Here are the Mustangs. Tori Ross with it. Passes that over to Brittany Hatch down to the corner. Jalen Lawson in the corner. Gives that up to Brittany Henry, giving that to Ross, over to Hatch on the wing. Hatch up to Lawson at the top. In the corner, Tori Ross for 3, and she has it. She does not have it. Beth Dow with the rebound, gives that to Sydney Pilling, over to Reagan Yamauchi. Yamauchi to Beth Dow. Dow with the drive, and Beth Dow has the points. 5 points for Beth Dow. Beth Dow makes her presence felt every time she's on the floor.
Absolutely. That was a fairly high arcing shot, but able to bank it in off the glass.
The Mustangs almost turn over there, and a foul is called. And that is going to go on Reagan Anderson. Or Reagan Yamauchi, excuse me. That is her second foul of the game. Sydney McDonald checks in. On the floor right now for the Badgers, Sydney Pilling, Sydney McDonald, Rachel Roberts, Beth Dow, and Lexi Peterson. On the floor for the Mustangs, Brittany Hatch, Brittany Henry, Tori Ross, Jalen Lawson, and Laditra Hobson, their starting lineup. The Badgers get the ball after the turnover. Sydney Pilling bringing it down here, the starting point guard for the Badgers. Sydney Pilling giving that to Lexi Peterson. Peterson attempted drive there, but the Badgers really trying to pass it around. Have that good team play. Sydney McDonald gives that to Rachel Roberts on the wing. Roberts down to Beth Dow. Roberts for 3. She does not have it, rebounded by Tori Ross. And Tori Ross is fouled on the attempted drive there. Sydney Pilling called for the foul.
One of the things you have to appreciate about the girls' game is you don't see the same amount of flopping as you do in the men's games. And when they're hit hard, they get up.
Yeah.
There's no moping around on the ground.
You know, you and I, we called the men's game last night where the Snow College Badgers took on Green River Gators from Auburn, Washington. And there is that one player for Green River flopping left and right, got called for it, got a warning, and then he did it again and he was called on. So, yeah, you don't see any of that with the women's basketball here. So the Mustangs working it here. Jalen Lawson gives out to Brittany Hatch. Hatch down low with the beautiful behind-the-head layup there. So the Badgers with the 13-point advantage here. 8 minutes left in the second quarter, and that is no good for Sydney McDonald. Micah Gustafson cannot get her hands on it before it goes out of bounds. Micah Gustafson and Reagan Anderson checking in for the Badgers. Mustangs give it to Brittany Henry in the corner. Back to Brittany Hatch up top. Gives that over to the other corner. Brittany Henry again. Up to Tori Ross. Ross to Hatch. Hatch outside the arc. Gives that to Tori Ross on the left wing. Hatch down low to Laditra Hobson. Hobson against Dow. Tori Ross trying. And Hobson, no good. Hobson gets her own rebound. Second chance opportunity there. No good. Reagan Anderson comes up with the point, with the ball. And it is out of bounds on Reagan Anderson, so the Mustangs take over with a fresh shot clock.
Yeah, Western Wyoming is starting to move the ball around a little bit better than they were in the first quarter. And, you know, trailing by 13, it's easy to kind of get down on yourself, but, you know, they need to stick with this game plan, you know, moving the ball around and looking for the open man down low.
Yeah, definitely. That was one of the main things that I noticed in that first quarter was the Badgers, they are unselfish with the ball. We have no real breakout leaders quite yet in the game. But the Mustangs, they've struggled passing that ball around. Mustangs working it around here. Trying to look low. Gives that to Laditra Hobson. Hobson against Gustafson. And Micah Gustafson with some awesome defense there to shut down Hobson. Brittany Henry with the jump shot and the 2 points. 13-point lead. Sydney Pilling with it here. Drives. And a beautiful move. Put back by Reagan Anderson. Reagan Anderson, her first bucket of the game. You know, that's what you like to see. Reagan Anderson, she got the start yesterday, but today she is off the bench. But she's playing like she is a starter.
Yeah, that's right. I'll say it again. It's the third time I'll say it. But the depth on the Badgers bench is just definitely a strength that will help them throughout the entire season, and we're seeing that tonight.
I don't think you can overstate that depth that you've been talking about this entire game. And the nice thing is that Mike Russell trusts two of his girls that played bench yesterday. He trusts them to start today, which is huge. So the Mustangs working it there, and travel is called. So the Badgers get the ball back at the baseline. Rachel Roberts checking in for Reagan Anderson. On the floor for the Badgers, Rachel Roberts, Sydney Pilling, Micah Gustafson, Lexi Peterson, and Sydney McDonald. On the floor for the Mustangs, they're going with their starting lineup here. Brittany Henry, Tori Ross, Jalen Lawson, Laditra Hobson, and Brittany Hatch. Tori Ross with it. Gives that over to Brittany Hatch on the wing. Hatch looking to drive. No. Gives that to Jalen Lawson. Lawson right in front. Right inside the three-point arc. Hobson with the shot, and it is good. Excuse me, Lawson with the shot there. She has 6 points in the game. Sydney Pilling bringing it down here for the Badgers. You and I commented yesterday about the Lady Badgers game yesterday was kind of slow-paced. It was not as action-filled as, say, the men's game was yesterday. but I think they've really come back and changed that in this game.
Yeah, and I think part of that is they have to respond to the aggressiveness of Western Wyoming. And, you know, with the alumni game yesterday, there just wasn't that same intensity, but playing a team that's used to playing with each other, you're going to have that intensity. And the Badgers have done well of containing the energy from Western Wyoming.
Definitely. So set to check in here for the Badgers is Reagan Yamauchi and Beth Dow. And checking in for the Mustangs, Kyra Meredith. And a timeout is called, so we are going to take a quick break until the end of the timeout. Welcome back to the Horn Activity Center. Joe Williams, Jacob Habel with you here. The Mustangs with the ball. 4 minutes left in the half, and the Badgers lead by 13. Beautiful steal there. Sydney McDonald with the fast break opportunity, and she's not able to capitalize on it, and a foul is called. Loose ball foul, excuse me. Say that 10 times fast, Jacob.
Loose ball foul,
loose ball foul, loose ball. Mustangs with it here. Tori Ross bringing it down. Tori Ross gives that to Brittany Henry. Henry to Brittany Hatch. And it is off the legs of Sydney McDonald. The attempted bounce pass, but
an interesting call there. Usually a kickball is when you can tell that the intention was to stop the ball with your foot, but if the person just throws the ball off your leg, I'm not really sure if it is a kickball, but nonetheless, the ref called it.
Yeah. But that's what you like to see. Your main sport is soccer.
Sorta. Yeah, definitely the first reaction, though, like play and pick up ball and stick your leg out. Definitely not allowed, though.
Off the fingertips of Brittany Henry there. Badger ball. Rachel Roberts to inbound. Sydney Pilling checks in for Sydney McDonald.
Do you think these players like having the campus to themselves and staying to play a couple games over the break, or do you wish they were somewhere else? Do you think they wish they were somewhere else?
I don't know. I really don't know. I know I sure liked waking up this morning in my apartment and being the only one there. But I also did not like that because, you know.
It's a little lonely, right?
It gets lonely, especially this time of year. You want to be with people. So, Beth Dow at the line.
Well, hopefully they have good relationships with each other, and you can definitely see that on the court. So I think at least for them, they feel like they're in good company with each other.
I mean, what better way to spend a Saturday than playing basketball? Second shot for Beth Dow here. She sinks her second. Beth Dow, 7 points. 17 points in yesterday's game. She was 100% from the field and 100% from the free throw line. Shot there, Tori Ross, no good. Rebounded by Beth Dow. Dow gives that to Reagan Yamauchi. Yamauchi over to Rachel Roberts, excuse me. So the Badgers with a 14-point lead. And the Mustangs just shooting it throwing it a bit too hard, and it goes out of bounds. Roberts to inbound to Pilling, and Sydney Pilling will bring it down. So the Badgers have their starting lineup on the floor right now. Reagan Yamauchi, Rachel Roberts, Beth Dow, Lexi Peterson, and Sydney Pilling. Rachel Roberts with it. Gives that to Lexi Peterson. Peterson over to Yamauchi. Yamauchi to Beth Dow down low. Dow with the post move. And there's a foul called. We'll see who it is called on. It is called on Beth Dow. Dow, that is her first foul of the game. Thank you so much for tuning in to Snow TV. Snow TV, the student-led organization here on campus, the student-led TV station. I almost said radio station, but that is not accurate. So at the line here to shoot is Kyra Meredith, 5'9" freshman forward. Snow TV, we broadcast all Snow College home sports games. And this year, we will also be bringing you all the road basketball games in the regular season. Myself and my buddy here, Jacob Habel, will be traveling with the teams, bringing you the full coverage.
Yeah, that's right. So parents and friends of members of this team, if you're unable to travel to various states in the western part of the United States, we'll have that broadcasted for you here on Snow Badger TV. So hopefully you'll be able to put it up on the big screen and watch your girls play.
So please feel free to hit that subscribe button right now so you can get notifications as to when we go live. So the Badgers working it around here. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Rachel Roberts with the shots. Roberts has 11 points and leads the Badgers in points. Tapped away by Rachel Roberts. Roberts again gives that to Sydney Pilling. Back to Roberts. Roberts with the beautiful move. Rachel Roberts.
You could see the bench, the Badgers bench, just absolutely loving that play between Pilling and Roberts. Roberts leading the team with 13 points. And this is what we talked about. You know, Roberts is starting, but every night it's a different girl. Every night somebody shows up to play, and they rely on each other. They're unselfish with the ball, and it's helping them out.
Rachel Roberts, another steal there. Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, but just the chemistry that these girls have. Rachel Roberts for 2 and another 2 there, giving the Badgers an 18-point advantage as we are 1 minute away from halftime. Stay tuned here for the halftime show. We'll be going live, so don't turn off that TV yet. And another steal for Rachel Roberts. Roberts bringing it all the way down here. Gives that to Sydney Pilling. Pilling back to Roberts. Roberts for another 2 points. No, rebounded, Micah Gustafson. And that is rebounded there by the Mustangs. Let's see, that shot there was by Sarai Thomas. Lexi Peterson, and it is good. Lexi Peterson, she has 6 points.
Perfect pass from Reagan Yamauchi, just leading her right into the basket.
Beautiful pass there, and the Badgers will have a 20-point lead going into the break. Another rebound, Rachel Roberts, and there's the buzzer. So stay tuned right here on Snow Badger TV. We're going to be bringing you the halftime show in just a couple of minutes. Joe Williams, Jacob Habel, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here again real soon. Ready? Welcome to the Horn Activity Center. Joe Williams, Jacob Habel with you right here on Snow Badger TV for the halftime show. We've watched one half of play between the Snow College Lady Badgers taking on Western Wyoming Community College Mustangs.
Yeah, it's been a good one so far if you're a Badger fan. Ladies jumping out to a 20-point lead there before the half. Huge game from Rachel Roberts. She's got 14 points so far in the afternoon. Kind of coming from all over the place. We've seen mid-range shots, a couple of down-low layups, as well as some three-pointers, and so she's definitely been the key for this Badger offense thus far.
She's also grabbed a couple of steals, 3 or 4 steals so far, and plenty of rebounding for her as well. And we were talking about this during the first half of just the depth of this entire roster. We talked mostly about the bench and the depth of the bench, but also the starters. I mean, just being able to have somebody like Beth Dow yesterday have 100% accuracy game, and then Beth Dow kind of goes into the background in the game like this, and Rachel Roberts comes out and just destroys. That's what you want to be able to see, have multiple players able to have that sort of a game.
Yeah, and we talked about it before the game. We mentioned that the post play was going to be big from both teams, and while we've seen some action down low, there's been a lot of shooting, especially the mid-range shots, and so obviously players like Roberts, Anderson's had a couple of points in the mid-range shot. Excuse me. Who am I looking for? McDonald has had a couple. Has a couple of three-pointers in as well. And for Western Wyoming, you know, they're down by 20, but the mid-range shot has been there for them as well.
Yeah, the Badgers are about 17 of 34 from field goal, 3 of 11 from three-point range. But the real thing that I think has really set this game apart is that the Badgers have scored 18 points off of turnovers, whereas the Mustangs have only scored 2 points off of turnovers. That's something that head coach of the Western Wyoming Mustangs, he's probably really been talking to them during this halftime, trying to get them to cover up that sloppy play.
Yeah, and you know, expecting from the second half, they're probably going to want to try and contain Roberts a little bit more, but because of the depth of the Badgers roster, somebody else is going to show up and start hitting the shots as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we are about 20 seconds away from the second half of play here, so don't go anywhere. Joe Williams, Jacob Habel, we're about to bring you that second half right here on Snow Badger TV. Joe Williams and Jacob Habel with you, bringing you the second half. The Mustangs will start with the ball. Jaylyn Lawson with it right now. The Mustangs going with their starting lineup, along with the Badgers also going with their starting lineup. So on the floor for the Mustangs, we've got Brittany Henry, Tori Ross, Jaylyn Lawson, Brittany Hatch, and Laditra Hobson. The Badgers on the floor right now, we have Sydney Pilling, Reagan Yamauchi, Rachel Roberts, Lexi Peterson, and Beth Dow. So the Mustangs working it around here. Brittany Hatch on the wing. Here's the drive. She's up against Reagan Yamauchi there. Lexi Peterson with the rebound. Sydney Pilling bringing it down. Gives that over to Rachel Roberts. Roberts for 2. No good. Brittany Hatch on the rebound there. Hatch to Tori Ross. Tori Ross slowing it down here, and the Mustangs will set up their offense. Over to the corner, Brittany Henry. Gives that up top to Tori Ross. Over to Hatch on the wing. Left wing here. Ross from the top of the key. No. Sydney Pilling with the rebound there. Gives that to Reagan Yamauchi. Yamauchi with the jump shot, and she has it. Reagan Yamauchi has 7 points in the game today.
I wish we could give you a close-up of the game faces of the Badgers players, especially Lexi Peterson. You look at her, and she just screams intimidation, right? I would not want to play against her.
You know, and I've actually had the pleasure of talking to Lexi Peterson outside of the off the court, you know. One of the nicest girls I've ever met, honestly. And the intensity that is on her face during these games is insane. It's awesome. Corner 3 for Reagan Yamauchi, no. And it is a turn. Oh, the Badgers will keep it here. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Sydney Pilling set to inbound. Pilling to Roberts. Roberts for 2. No. Rebounded there by Laditra Hobson. Tori Ross with it. Passes that over to Brittany Henry on the wing. Henry to Hobson. Hobson to Hatch. And Beth Dow comes up with it. Passes that over to Reagan Yamauchi. Yamauchi to Sydney Pilling. Pilling baseline drive. And Pilling with the beautiful baseline layup there. Sydney Pilling has 7 points in the game today.
And Pilling's one of the smallest players on the court, but she's not afraid to drive and duck under the defenders and drive to the basket, as we saw there.
Missed shot there. Beth Dow comes up with the rebound. Bethany Dow definitely had an amazing game yesterday, as we said, but today helping out her team a lot. She has 4 rebounds, 6 points so far. Doing very well at team play. Beth Dow at the line here.
That's Hobson's 4th foul of the game early into the 3rd quarter, so they'll have to be careful. And that's the one player that they can't afford to lose.
That is, excuse us, that was Laditra Hobson's 3rd foul of the game. Sorry, we keep our own stats here against the box score stats, so we are trying to keep up right here. Dow's second shot, and it is good. Beth Dow sinks both of her free throws and has 8 points. Here's Hatch with the drive, gives that down low to Kyra Meredith, but Kyra Meredith can't hold on to it. Rachel Roberts comes up with the ball. Roberts working it around, up to Pilling up top. Knocked away by Tori Ross, and a foul is called.
And once again, Pilling goes hard down onto the court and jumps right back up like she fell onto a trampoline or something like that. Absolutely incredible. Love the tenacity coming from Sydney Pilling.
So Tori Ross with the foul there. That is Tori Ross's 2nd foul of the game. Beth Dow gives that to Yamauchi over to Sydney McDonald. McDonald down to Pilling in the corner. Pilling back to McDonald at the top of the key.
Shot clock down to 6. Badgers need to get a shot off.
Beth Dow. And a foul is called. And the foul is called on Rachel Roberts. Rachel Roberts, her 1st foul of the game. Tori Ross bringing it down here. Brittany Hatch gives that over to Brittany Henry for the 3-point shot. No. Rachel Roberts with the rebound. Roberts over to Yamauchi. Yamauchi on the wing. Screen set. It is knocked away. Sydney McDonald gets the ball back. Gives that to Rachel Roberts. Roberts to Dow. Dow goes up for the 2. Doesn't have it. Second chance there. And Dow has the second chance points. She has 10 points tonight. Or this afternoon, excuse me. So used to basketball games being
Feels like
at night,
doesn't it?
It really does.
Sun's hardly anywhere to be seen.
Yeah, rainy, snowy, cold day here in Ephraim, Utah. In the corner, Tori Ross, and that is good. set to check in here. Micah Gustafson and Reagan Anderson for the Badgers. And we have a timeout called, so we are going to take a quick break. Welcome back to the Horn Activity Center. Welcome back to the Horn Activity Center. Joe Williams and Jacob Habel with you here. You know, looking at the stats from that first half, Snow College was out-rebounded. 12 rebounds for the Mustangs compared to Badgers' 11 rebounds. Normally, that has a huge impact on the game, but it was really counteracted by the fact that the Badgers had 4 turnovers and the Western Wyoming Mustangs had 17 turnovers in the first half of play. That led to the Badgers getting 18 points off of turnovers and the Mustangs only getting 2 points off of turnovers. So Sydney Pilling gives that to Lexi Peterson over to McDonald. Blocked there by Brittany Hatch, but the second chance points. Reagan Anderson with her 4th point of the game. Tori Ross bringing it down here. And then also going back to the stats, the Badgers stole the ball 9 times compared to the Mustangs stealing the ball 3 times. So the Badgers playing a really, really good defensive game on turnovers and steals so far. Sydney Pilling with the ball, giving that to Lexi Peterson. Peterson working it here. She has that game face on that you were talking about. Pilling for 3. No good. Rebound there. Lexi Peterson back up to Pilling up top. To Reagan Anderson. She expected somebody there, but there was nobody, so she took it. But that hesitation was her downfall. The Badgers lost the ball there. Mustangs keep the ball after it goes out of bounds at the baseline. And another timeout is called, so we are going to take a quick break. Welcome back to the Horn Activity Center. Joe Williams and Jacob Habel here for Snow Badger TV. The Badgers are ahead by 24 points. 3 minutes, 23 seconds left in the third quarter. Mustangs with the ball. Tori Ross in the corner, corner three, and that is good for Tori Ross. Ross has 10 points. The Badgers able to hold the Mustangs to only 9 points since halftime, while scoring 10 points of their own. Corner. Beth Dow, drive against Brittany Hatch, and it is good. Beth Dow, she has 12 points, catching up to Rachel Roberts, the point leader at 15. With the ball here, Sammy Lewis for the Mustangs. Gives that over to Tori Ross. Ross to Hatch in the corner. Hatch for three, no good. And it is rebounded by Sammy Lewis, and a foul is called. Foul is called on Sydney Pilling. That is Pilling's second foul. Jalen Lawson set to inbound here. Gives that to Sammy Lewis. Lewis back to Lawson. Lawson gives that down low to Tori Ross. Ross out to Hatch for three. And it is no good. Rebound there by Sydney Pilling. Pilling, the starting point guard, gives that over to Reagan Yamauchi. Yamauchi over to Sydney McDonald. McDonald giving that Rachel Roberts for three. And it is a beautiful shot for Rachel Roberts. She has 18 points.
That's got to feel good, too. That's her first points of the second half. And when you have such a good, strong first half, you're scoring 15 points, and then you kind of unable to hit on a couple of shots, you start doubting yourself. But she's able to continue to take the shots, and they eventually fall in for her.
Beautiful first half for Rachel Roberts, really our breakout player for the Badgers. Mustangs passing it around here. Sammy Lewis out to, that's Brittany Henry. Rebounded by Beth Dow. Sydney Pilling taking it down here. Sydney Pilling, baseline drive, hands that out to Sydney McDonald, to Rachel Roberts, over to Reagan Yamauchi. Yamauchi for three, no good. Rebound there, Beth Dow. To Rachel Roberts, Roberts for two, and Roberts is fouled on the shot. And the foul is called on Jalen Lawson. So Rachel Roberts will go to the line to shoot.
Pretty desperate defense from the Mustangs. It's so hard when everyone on the floor can shoot pretty much any shot, and so you have to respect, you have to contest. And the Badgers have been able to find the open girl most of the time, hitting the shots, other times drawing the fouls like in this case, but it's so hard to cover when all five can shoot from anywhere on the floor.
So Rachel Roberts, she is at 66% from the line today. Tori Ross with the ball, passes that over to Sammy Lewis. Lewis back to Ross. Ross against Sydney McDonald of the Badgers. Jalen Lawson passes that down. It is knocked away by Beth Dow. And the foul is called. Beth Dow called on the foul. Her second personal foul.
Sid, you're going to have to help.
The officials working it around here.
Coach Russell yelling to his players, hey, Sid, you're going to have to help out. And both Sydney Pilling and Sydney McDonald looking over saying, which one of us? Who are you talking to?
Yeah, because as we said earlier, we have two Sydneys, two Reagans, and two Brittnys in this game.
And two Rachels.
And two Rachels. Some beautiful, intense defense here by the Badgers. The Badgers really playing both sides of the ball in all three quarters so far. We are under a minute to play in the third quarter. But Mike Russell, head coach of the Badgers, really had that key to the game when we talked to him beforehand of playing an entire game on both sides of the ball, all four quarters. And I think they've really been able to do that here.
They've done a really good job, too, in the third quarter, not letting Western Wyoming get any kind of momentum. The defense has been strong. They've continued with consistency to shut down the post game especially, and it's been huge for this Badgers offense.
And another three-point shot for Rachel Roberts. She has 22 points. And I'll tell you what, we're probably going to run out of room on our stat sheet for Rachel Roberts' points. So that is the end of the third quarter. We are going to take a break until the start of the fourth quarter, so don't go anywhere. You're watching Snow Badger TV. Welcome back to the Horn Activity Center. Joe Williams and Jacob Habel here. One more quarter of action in this amazing game. Your Snow College Badgers have just been dominating both sides of the basketball to give themselves a 28-point lead going into the fourth quarter. Sydney Pilling for three. No good. Rebound there, Jalen Lawson. Take this opportunity to tell you a little bit more about Snow TV. Snow TV, the student-run, student-led organization here on Snow College campus in Ephraim, Utah. It gives an opportunity for students like myself and my buddy here, Jacob Habel, to be broadcasters, be able to get that experience, and also to be able to help you know what is going on the court. So we're very happy that you are joining us here. Special thank you to our professor, Gary Chittister, our cameraman, Eli Erickson, and I would personally like to thank you, Jacob Habel. Thank you so much for joining me on this broadcast.
It's been a good day so far, especially if you're a Badger fan, so I'm definitely looking forward to the men's game after this.
Yeah, the men's game. So Snow Badger men's team will be taking on Rexburg United, a club team from BYU, Idaho, in Rexburg, Idaho. And we'll be bringing you a pregame there, so stay tuned. We'll be going live about 10 minutes before the game, 5 minutes before the game, somewhere in there. So stay tuned. Tune in at 4:50, 4:55 for the 5 o'clock game. We were able to sit down with Badgers starting center, Trey Farrer, just a few moments ago, and we'll also be able to talk to head coach Rob Nielsen and bring you the keys to the game. So be sure to tune in there if you want to see what the Badgers are going to be focusing on in their game.
And it hasn't felt like Beth Dow has had the same kind of game as she had yesterday, but she's only 4 points shy of her 17 points yesterday with still pretty much an entire quarter left. So a little bit more quiet, but definitely as effective.
I would not be surprised if we saw Beth Dow having a breakout performance in the fourth quarter. The Badgers get the ball after the block shot by Beth Dow. Rachel Roberts really the breakout player of this game. I think when you look at the box score, her rebounds, assists, points, it's just been an all-around game for Rachel Roberts. Lexi Peterson passes out to Sydney McDonald into the corner. Peterson on the wing. Beth Dow with the screen. And the illegal screen is called on Beth Dow. And that's a good call there by the ref. You know, Beth Dow set the screen, but then started to shuffle her feet as Lexi Peterson started to drive the ball there. Still scoreless in the fourth quarter, a minute and a half in. Badgers bringing it down here. On the floor for the Badgers, we have Beth Dow, Reagan Yamauchi, Lexi Peterson, Sydney McDonald, and Josie Coleman. Coleman's first minutes of the game. That point no good for Lexi Peterson, but Beth Dow gets the rebound for the second chance points, and she has it. So she is at 15 points. Sarai Thomas bringing it down for the Mustangs. Laditra Hobson against Beth Dow down low. Here's Thomas. Colleen Katoa set to check in for the Badgers. Katoa checks in for Sydney McDonald. Colleen Katoa, sophomore forward from American Fork, Utah. Mustangs working it here. Sarai Thomas against Katoa. Thomas to Henry. Henry for two. No. Laditra Hobson is blocked by Beth Dow. Lexi Peterson goes for the layup and has the 2 points there.
Nice little left-handed layup.
Beautiful shooting here for the Badgers. Micah Gustafson set to check in for the Badgers. And that was thrown a little high. Sarai Thomas threw it a little bit too high for Laditra Hobson to get. So another turnover. Reagan Yamauchi playing the point guard position here. Gives that to Katoa. Here's the drive. Katoa for two. No. Rebounded. Micah Gustafson. It is hit out of bounds by the Mustangs. Brittany Hatch checks in for Brittany Henry. To make that two Brittany's thing even better, both of them are Brittany H. Sarai Thomas passes that to Brittany Hatch. Hatch over to, that's Elena Floyd with her first minutes of the game. Laditra Hobson against Gustafson. No good. Rebound there. Josie Coleman. Coleman to Yamauchi. Yamauchi bringing it down here. Passes that. Lexi Peterson. Down low to Micah Gustafson. No good. Rebound. Sammy Lewis. Lewis will bring it down here. Passes that over to the corner. Brittany Hatch with it. Passes that to Laditra Hobson. Hobson against Gustafson. Micah Gustafson is called for the foul. Sydney Pilling checks in for Reagan Yamauchi. Mustang ball at their own baseline. 6 minutes left in the game. 20 seconds on the shot clock. They're down by 35. Here's Colleen Katoa giving that to Gustafson. Gustafson is fouled.
And you kind of have to foul Gustafson down low when she's the one who comes up with the rebound surrounded by three Mustangs. You kind of just have to tip your cap off and say, all right, well, we'll send you to the line.
Yeah, exactly. Micah Gustafson, sophomore center from Kearns, Utah. You know, this is what I love about college ball like this and being able to be broadcasters as students. I sat next to Micah Gustafson in a math class last year, and I got to know her really well. One of the best people that I've ever known. So I'm really happy to be able to cover her games and be able to tell you she's an amazing center for this Badger team. So the Mustangs with the ball here. Sarai Thomas bringing it down. Down by 35 with just under 6 minutes left in the game. It's Elena Floyd with it. Over to Sammy Lewis. Sammy Lewis has 3 points. That is her first bucket of the game. Colleen Katoa against Hatch. Gives that to Josie Coleman. Coleman cannot get it, so Lexi Peterson grabs it there. 15 seconds left on the shot clock, and a foul is called. Brittany Hatch with the foul. Set to check in for the Badgers, Olivia Arvey. Sydney Pilling to inbound here. Josie Coleman back to Pilling. Pilling gives that to Gustafson at the foul line. Gustafson down low. And she is fouled on the shot. And it is called on Elena Floyd. Gustafson at the line again. Micah Gustafson. She has 4 points, 5 points there. No good on the second shot. She gets her own rebound. Gives that to Olivia Arvey, back to Katoa. Katoa back to Josie Coleman. Coleman over to Sydney Pilling. Pilling to Arvey. Arvey off the screen from Gustafson. Gustafson, beautiful pick and roll, but they cannot finish there. Sammy Lewis passes that over to Floyd. Floyd to, that is Thomas, Sarai Thomas. And a beautiful steal. Josie Coleman bringing it all the way coast to coast. Gives that to Sydney Pilling in the corner. It is off the fingertips of the Mustangs, so the Badgers keep the ball. Media timeout here. So we will take a short break until the end of this timeout. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left in the game. Welcome back to the Horn Activity Center. Joe Williams and Jacob Habel with you here on Snow Badger TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game between the Snow College Badgers and the Western Wyoming Community College Mustangs. Colleen Katoa gives that to Sydney McDonald. Let's see, that was Josie Coleman. Olivia Arvey with it, giving that back to Katoa. Katoa looking low. Gives that to Sydney McDonald. McDonald down to Beth Dow to Olivia Arvey, but it is blocked. Elena Floyd with the block there. Sydney McDonald comes up with it after the little scuffle there. Colleen Katoa with the easy three-footer, but cannot connect there. Sammy Lewis with the ball. Tipped by Sydney McDonald, but not enough. Corner three, good for Brittany Hatch. Brittany Hatch has 10 points. Olivia Arvey driving, giving that to Colleen Katoa, but it is ripped away. Kyra Meredith able to keep it, but the Mustangs call a timeout. We are going to take a short break. the Horn Activities Center. One of the stats guys here sitting next to us on the bench just leaned over to us and said, here comes the comeback for the Western Wyoming Mustangs. Just under 3.5 minutes left to play in the game. Josie Coleman with the steal, gives that to Beth Dow. Dow over to Olivia Arvey. Arvey to Dow. Dow gives that to Sydney McDonald on the wing. And it is good for 3. 32-point lead for the Badgers. Let's see that comeback, Jacob.
It would be the greatest comeback in sports history, I think.
I would agree. It would have to make ESPN top 10, right?
Absolutely.
Stay tuned here on Snow Badger TV. Hit that subscribe button for all your Snow College Badger sports. Coming up at 5 o'clock today, we've got the men's basketball team taking on Rexburg United. Beth Dow with the 2-point there.
Dow with that basket ties her point total from yesterday. So, like I was mentioning before, maybe a little bit quieter than yesterday's game, but still just as effective. 17 points this afternoon.
Definitely not shooting the same percentage as she shot yesterday. 100% from the field, 100% from the free throw line for Beth Dow. Foul is called. Olivia Arvey with her first foul of the game. So the Mustangs checking in 4 new players.
Stay down, stay low, stand up.
At the line to shoot, Elena Floyd, 5'7" freshman guard. First shot, no good. Down by 34 as we approach the 2-minute mark. Second shot, good. 33-point lead for the Badgers. Olivia Arvey bringing it down here, gives that to Josie Coleman. Josie Coleman gives that to Sydney McDonald up top. Olivia Arvey. Beth Dow over to Colleen Katoa on the wing. Katoa, Josie Coleman down low. Coleman double teamed. Colleen Katoa able to get it. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Beth Dow over to Olivia Arvey. Some lockdown D by the Mustangs, but it is no match for Colleen Katoa. She gets the 3 points. Mustangs working it here. And an air ball shot from Rachel Walsh, 5'9" sophomore guard. Sydney McDonald bringing it down. In the corner there, gives that up to Tori Ross. Ross for 3, no good. Beth Dow on the rebound. Sydney McDonald gives that to Olivia Arvey. Arvey for 2, no. Rebounded, Elena Floyd with the rebound. Tori Ross passes it back to Elena Floyd. About an 19-second difference between shot and game clock. Mustangs working it here. Shot clock will turn off after this possession. Tori Ross for 3, no. Beth Dow on the rebound. Now all the Badgers need to do is keep it for 19 more seconds, and they will win this game. Olivia Arvey, no. Rebound, Colleen Katoa. 10 seconds left on the game clock. Here's Katoa. And they are going to just accept the loss. And the Badgers win it by 36 points. A beautiful game for the Snow College Badgers.
Yeah, we talked about yesterday's game against the alumni team, scoring 83 points, their season high, and almost matching themselves today with 79. So high offensive power from the Badgers, and lockdown defense won it for them today.
Yeah, so this has been the last women's basketball game that we will be broadcasting this part of the semester. So next semester, when the regular season begins, I believe the first game will be on January 10th. Be sure to tune in right here on Snow Badger TV. hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when we go live. Thank you so much for tuning in. For the entire Snow Badger TV crew, this has been Joe Williams and Jacob Habel. Have a great Saturday, everybody, and don't forget to tune in 5 o'clock for the Snow College Men's Badger basketball game.